Welcome to Inside IT Automation, a ScriptRunner production.
All right, here we are with another Inside IT Automation episode from PSConf 2024 in Antwerp. And with me today is Emrys MacInally. Thanks for taking the time. So to talk a little bit about your PowerShell journey and how it came about that you are now second time a speaker of the PSConf. So let us know a little bit about your background maybe, and when you started using PowerShell and how. And so maybe we start with a little backstory.
Yeah, so thank you, Heiko, for having me here. So basically, I used to be in a small company, and we did automated deployments to our customers, and I began my journey with VB scripts like many other people did, and then this new tool PowerShell came out. So it was PowerShell V1. Had a look at it, didn't know what to do with it, but then came PowerShell V2 out, and that was usable, and I started implementing my first scripts like everyone else did. And then when PowerShell V3 was released, that was like the real revelation. That's when my journey began. That's when I started getting really nerdy with PowerShell.
Okay, cool.
And it became my primary tool for all my automation.
Okay, and what was the features, the options that kind of you thought, wow, that's really the awesome stuff?
So basically, in the early versions of PowerShell, we didn't have the modules. You couldn't write your own modules, and we had the snap-ins, which were complicated and difficult to work. But with V3 and all the remoting that came with V2, I think, it became a very good and very practical tool, and you suddenly were able to write your own modules and your own features, and that was just like a revelation, and yeah.
And was there any specific use cases where you said, wow, that was really a cool project where you could really achieve a lot with what you did with your PowerShell scripts?
Yeah, so basically the company I worked for, one of our products was like this web portal on-prem. And so prior to using PowerShell, we would manually install everything, have a few VB scripts that would support us. But an installation would like take a good day, maybe even 1.5 days with a customer. And thanks to PowerShell, we could shave that time down to half an hour, which was great. So
this is kind of a success story that really shows the power of PowerShell, right?
Yeah, so that's the main benefit of PowerShell. It's easy to implement, especially in Windows environments. Now, of course, on Mac and Linux as well. And it just helps us automate our processes and save a lot of time.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so, and I think we met the first time online, I think, because of the PowerShell user group Rhein-Neckar, which I'm co-organizer together with Ryan. And I think we talked about you maybe going to PSConf last year, becoming a speaker, and it actually happened. So how was the journey of you becoming a speaker at the PSConf last year? Yeah. It's the first time.
Yeah, so basically I was always interested in visiting the PSConf as an attendee. And 2019, I had the first opportunity to visit, and it was a great experience. And it's just such a welcoming community. It's not like the attendees only speak with attendees and the speakers stick to themselves. I got to know all these great people, Matthias, Graziella, and all these people.
And this was still where Jeffrey Snover even was there in Hanover in 2019.
Yeah. That was a really good conf, and then I kept visiting the conf, and basically in Vienna I talked to Gail, and he said, we got this new inspiring speaker program. So I thought I'd give it a try, and there were a few online meetings where they explained the process of becoming a speaker, writing abstracts, getting prepared. So I just went for it, and I just handed in a couple of proposals, and 2 of them were chosen, and then I had to become a speaker.
Okay, and so there are mentors that help you through the process, like how should you organize and structure a session, or how does this work?
Yeah, so basically first it's an overall introduction in how to write an abstract, what are the steps, and then just giving tips of how to structure your talk, how to get prepared. And but the great thing is, as I already said, I met so many great people. So when I was preparing my first talk, I just could reach out to Graziella, for example, or Björn, and say, hey, I've got a couple of ideas. Could you listen to them and give me feedback? And I had really good feedback, and they just helped structure my talk. And that's great.
Absolutely.
It's a community who gives, and I'm here to help other people. So if someone wants to ask me, how did you do that? I'm always welcome to help.
So I think we should cover that also briefly. But first, how did you find the topics that you wanna present? Was this an easy task or difficult?
I think that's the more difficult task. Thinking of something that might be relevant for other people. So when I think of a talk, I'm trying to imagine who's coming to the conference. I try to imagine what talks would I like to see, and that's how I come up with my ideas.
So thinking about a target audience, so is it like, okay, would I attend this session if I would read the abstract and things like that?
For example, and of course my daily work has also influenced the talk. So basically, I have a problem, I solve the problem, and if there's not a lot of documentation about it, then I think it might be suitable for a talk.
Great. So last year, it was 2 talks already last year, or was it 1 talk?
It was 2 talks last year.
Okay. And then this year, being in Antwerp, you're here back again and speaking. So you're kind of like, well, I did it once, and then now, okay, you're into it. And does it become easier to find topics and to prepare and to speak?
Finding topics is difficult, or still difficult. That doesn't change this year in comparison to last year. I was a little less nervous.
Good.
But still very nervous. But when you talk to all these other speakers here, most of them are really nervous. There are only very few of the speakers are so professional and do it so regularly, not nervous.
But on the other hand, everybody knows that your audience, they want you to succeed. So, right? So it's really, the nervousness probably also helps with getting maybe a little bit engaged. And so when you just said, so now you're here also to mentoring others that maybe would be inspired to do their own talk. So can they reach out to you?
Yeah, you can reach out. I'm on Twitter. Go under the handle Lindner Brewery.
Okay, we will have that in the description of the video for sure.
So reach out to me. If someone's got ideas, and I'll give feedback if anyone wants to.
And so to inspire someone else, let's say, okay, why should they do that? What did you learn during the process of preparing a session and actually giving this session?
Yeah, so basically, when you have an idea for a session, you submit the session and it gets chosen. Then the hard work begins. Then you have to start your research because I really want to know my topic. I get deeper in than I thought I knew. And it's just do a lot of research. Think of the questions people might ask you. Just try to get the most knowledge about your topic as possible.
I think that's a good one, because probably it's even kind of like being over prepared, because then it's easy to improvise, because if you know the topic inside out, the difficult question might not throw you under the bus, like, oh, now I don't know the answer. And even if you don't, I mean, nobody knows everything, right?
Exactly.
So
no, but it's good to be prepared. The attendees expect you to be well prepared, and the discussions after the talk are good. People come up to you and ask again what you meant, and it's good to be prepared. It's good to be able to give the people answers, and the best feedback is when you get the feedback, oh, I didn't know that, and I will incorporate that in my own scripts in the future.
Wow, this is
that's the best feedback.
And so what were the topics of the 2 sessions this year?
Okay, so my 2 topics was, the first one was called The Art of Throwing Errors. So basically, I just went through terminating, non-terminating errors and the different ways to throw them.
Okay.
And unfortunately, they all react differently. So you have to spend a bit of time understanding them, and basically I wanted to help other people understand them as well. Yeah. And then my second topic was about versioning PowerShell modules.
All right.
Because versioning, everyone hates versioning. There are different approaches. It's not a right and wrong situation.
Yeah.
So that was like a story about how I version.
Okay. Interesting. And the good news is that all the sessions have been recorded, so other people can watch it after the fact on YouTube. So I guess I would definitely recommend to, once they are online, go to the YouTube of PSConfEU and watch the videos. So for the future, any plans for next talks, next events where you want to speak or where you want to apply, call for paper, things like that?
Yes, I got one or two ideas, not enough yet. I hope I'm going to have some more ideas, and I would like to speak at user groups this year as well, which I haven't been doing yet, but I would like to do that.
I know one where you actually could do that almost immediately.
I'll be happy to come.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Yeah, so thanks a lot for coming by, taking the time. That was great. I think getting some insights about, changing from being an attendee to become a speaker. I think that's really something that everyone that is in PowerShell, everyone knows something. And so sometimes it's like, okay, I probably know, everybody knows already what I would talk about, but all of the time, you have a different perspective, even if it's the same topic. So I think it's important that, if you have an idea, just do it, right?
Just do it. Just give it a try.
Yeah.
You can start off in user groups or in your company. Start pitching ideas, and then you hopefully really feel so confident to hand in a paper.
Yeah, absolutely. Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
See you next time. Bye-bye.